Welcome back, dear students. In the last class, we had studied about the poem Upagupta. But today, in this class, let us study about the lesson called the three questions. So, in this lesson, we are going to study about the three questions which were revolving around the life of a great king. So, this lesson is written by Count Leo Tolstoy. So, Leo Tolstoy is the Russian novelist and a moral philosopher. He ranks as one of the world's greatest writers. So, his writing, War and Peace, has been hailed as the greatest novel ever written in the history. His ability of weaving stories, his wonderful characters, and his narrative capabilities were appreciated in every part of the world, even to this day. So, dear students, this is the author who writes about the story of a king who is urging, who is waiting, or who wants to know about the answer for the three questions which is in his mind. So the king thinks that if he know these three questions, he would never fail in his life. Not only in his life, but also in the life of his kingdom. So that is the reason he wants to know the answers for these three questions. Now, what are the three questions that the king wants to know the answer? The first question is, what is the right time to begin something? The second question is, who should a king listen to? The third question is, what is the most important thing for a king to do? So, dear students, the king therefore sent messengers throughout his kingdom. He declared that a large sum to anyone who would answer these three questions. So, by hearing these promises, many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. So, in reply to the first question, some said, the king must prepare a timetable and then follow it strictly. So others said that it was impossible to decide in advance the right time for doing something. The king should do whatever seemed at the necessary time, at that time when he is doing something. So yet others said that the king needed a council of wise men who would help him to act at the proper time, because the king alone cannot decide what is the right time. So as a result, what happens? He should create a council, a body of members to decide, and the council would discuss the matter and then decide what is the right time to begin something. But then others said that there was something which would be urgent. If something would urgent, is it possible to call the council and decide if it is urgent? So this also is not possible. For these things could not wait for the decision of the council. So in order to decide the right time For doing something, it is necessary to look into the future. If we know what is going to happen in the future, it is easy to decide at the right time. So we need to find out what is going to happen in the future. As a result, we should consult only a magicians. Only the magicians could do that. So the king therefore would have to go to the magicians to decide what is the right time to begin something. Then so in these answers, the second question. What is the second question? Who should a king listen to? So when he begins something, the king should listen to something. The king should ask the opinions of something. The king should get the advice of others. Now who should the king get the advices? Who should the king listen to? For this, some people have answered, some wise people have answered. What are the answers the wise people have given? So in their answers to the second question, so some said that the people most necessary to the king were his counselors. So his counselors were the most close or the collaborator of a king. So the king should listen to the counselors. But others said priests, because the priests are the people who are giving the guidance. So the king should go to the priest to get the advices. So some others said, and he should choose doctors. And yet others said that his soldiers were the most necessary. Why? Because the soldiers are the people who guard the king, who saves the kingdom. As a result, the king should listen to the soldiers. So the third question, what is the third question? So what is the most important thing for a king to do? So when he is doing something, so when he begins something, he should do something. What is that thing that he is supposed to do in order to be successful? So some others said attack. So he should go for a fight. And yet others said religious worship. He should go for a religious worship and then he should begin something new. So as answers to these questions, his questions were so different, the king was not satisfied. So he decided to seek the advice of a certain hermit who was widely known for his wisdom. So the rest of the thing, let us listen to the next class, dear students. Thank you very much.